This is how you cannot get permanently banned from Minecraft. That's right, there is a solution for the current Mojang ban system. So first off, we need to discuss something regarding the ban system and how the community has treated it. So over the weekend, and really the reason why this video is delayed in production, was that I began to see an interesting dichotomy in the community. So during Minecraft Now, people were spamming messages, basically almost attacking the Mojang devs for not making any statement during the live stream about the Minecraft ban system. They were spamming messages, some of people were being fairly hateful, so the Mojang dev team got some moderators on, and they just started deleting messages. Then, also over the weekend, sadly, Technoblade, a wonderful creator, and someone I am inspired by, passed. And the Minecraft community rallied together in support of him and in the memory of Technoblade. Now, this is a fundamental dichotomy in the Minecraft community that I believe is important to highlight. First off, the majority of people in the Minecraft community are pretty okay people. Most people aren't hateful and spiteful, and most people genuinely care. When it came to Technoblade, we did inspire a change from the Mojang team, as they've added his model, or at least his crown, onto the pig in the launcher menu. In addition, Mojang dev team seems to be discussing adding a special name tag based feature regarding Techno. No official announcements on that topic. Now, we also have the issue of those who are spamming and were attacking the Mojang dev team. I do understand where you're coming from, and after analyzing some of the team members' Twitter accounts, I understand especially that we should be afraid of misuse of the system. But spamming and attacking them does the exact opposite of what we want. See, as a community, we want them to get rid of the system. But if we cannot prove that we are responsible enough to exist without it, then we'll implement it. So we must be careful with how we treat our activism. Now, what can you do to protect yourself? And why do you need to protect yourself? Well, a community called #saveminecraft have been diligently developing and seeking exploits in this system. Some of these exploits have been patched by Mojang, but very likely Mojang will not be able to implement this system with 0 exploits, as they've proven they're not necessarily the best at developing when it comes to server packets and server security, as almost every server is basically required to use some form of plugin system like Spigot to fully secure their system. So how can these packets be misused? Well, as of this weekend, some of these things have been patched. So let's go ahead and start going through them. First off, it was found by Azrael, which is a developer we'll talk about a little bit more in the future. These packets can be manipulated, and as Mojang does send context to each messages, which is very important, of course, the system they use can have context removed. Now, obviously, they're very unlikely to ban off of a system that is very clearly just a single message with no context, as they've already stated they don't plan on doing that in particular. Not only can this context be altered, but you can send messages through entities, namely renamed command blocks, and you can report those messages as if a specific user had sent them. So, you could, as pheonixsc has done, ban Microsoft itself from Minecraft. The messages can be altered to remove context or to add context that never existed. Now, Mojang has patched these things, and so maybe we have less to be concerned about, but I still don't trust it. So let's go forward with a bit more on how you can protect yourself. To protect yourself, you have to find a way to remove your player information from chat messages on a server. Luckily, that same guy who found these issues, Azrael, actually released a mod that will remove your player tag from messages. Now, there are a couple caveats and a couple different ways this works. First off, for single player, you can't play on any server that has the default option of enable super secure profiles set to true. But if you're playing on a typical server, it's very likely they'll disable this. In addition, it works very differently on the client side and the server side. So the client side just means your personal account, and when you're playing on a server, there are many client-side mods, such as Optifine, that don't require the server side to actually include them. Now, as far as this mod, the client side and the server side do not require each other, though they do act very different. So let's discuss, first off, the client side. All it does is it removes your unique user ID from being associated with your chat messages. But on the server side, it removes all of those chat messages, treats them as log messages, meaning they can no longer even be reported, and it can require the client side version of the mod to be enabled for players to hop on a server. This mod is currently only for Forge though, so we have to begin to ask the developers of Spigot and so on to assist us in protecting users as much as possible. So this is the way you can protect yourself, but let's discuss one more last time the future of this system and why I believe that this feature in particular is not inherently 100% horrible. Now, xsumavoid put out a video that was not well received, and I want to make it very clear, I do not agree with many of his opinions. I believe that he is personally less on the side of personal freedom, and not necessarily even on the side of logic and reason. Now, do I agree with the point that a system to ban people who have done inappropriate things with children or have been using Minecraft to groom children, should they be permanently banned from multiplayer? Yes. I'm sorry, but if you're doing that, I cannot agree with that. And I know some will be, but some communities will accept it and so on. I really don't necessarily agree, but I also am more on the side that servers should have the ability to opt into this system and should be able to opt in to individual and specific rules. Every rule on every system that bans you should be uniquely numbered so that when you're banned, you know exactly why. And in the case of Minecraft, this ban system can now be used to say, hey, I don't want people who have been banned for griefing on my server. If that's a specific rule Mojang wanted to add. But then again, they could say, no, Mojang goes way too far on that. We're gonna disable that. There we go. Then take those same options and add those as a set of options and parental controls for children accounts. That way parents can say, I don't want my kids playing on a server that does X, Y, and Z. This way, there is the most freedom for the most people across the most areas in the Mojang related community. Finally, I do believe that the moderation team needs to be publicly known. Not necessarily their home addresses, and I know the risk that's involved with this. But the fact of the matter is that essentially we're being moderated by a shadow organization, of which we have no capability of knowing and understanding. Even if it's a set of Twitter accounts or showing up on a Minecraft Live, I think that that's a benefit. Once again, I'm not disallowing the risks involved in this system because, well, simply put, this is not a time for playing around. So where can we go from here? I ask that you would go ahead and contact all of your server admins that you know personally. Don't spam their accounts, but ask that if they choose to move to 1.18, use mods like Azriel's Forge mod or the Spigot plugin that's linked below. And also go ahead and install the Forge mod by Azriel that prevents chat reporting. This will secure you as much as possible while you're online and allow you to use chat while you're playing minigames. I personally am not going to be using chat while I am live anymore because, simply put, at this point it is a huge risk, and that prevents me from being able to share my content with people. So I do hope that you've enjoyed this video so far, and I would love to hear your ideas and comments down below. Also, if you would like to have more time with me or be able to discuss with me, I suggest you hop on my Discord, as you'll be able to have more direct involvement with me. But without further ado, this has been Negative signing out, and God bless y'all. Should probably leave like a little bit of an Easter egg at the end of the chat, or at the end of the video. You know, you guys should really check out my video that previously talked about the ban system in its earlier iteration. I strongly suggest it. It's pretty good. Also, yes, I'm using a deeper form of my voice. Does it sound nice? Do you like it? I don't know. Hubba hubba.